Yeah, finally. So, tomorrow morning I have a talk at 8:45. It's quite early in the morning. So I want to make some teasing to help you wake up and attend my talk. Okay, so for today, so I will not go into the details of Metabrik, but I will show you what we can do with it. For instance, here in the circle, some people are developing a tool to query the CVE database locally stored on your computer. And so I did write some bricks to play with the CVE search. So in Metabrik, when you want to play with something, you search by tag. I want to play with CVE search. And you see you do have two bricks which are speaking about CVE search. So one of the first steps to do is to install dependencies for the brick you want to use. Here I want to install dependencies for API CVE search. So it asks for a password. Under the hood, it is installing some Ubuntu packages and some Perl modules. I said the word, it's Perl. So the brick is now ready to be used. And okay, great. What can I do with this brick? I just call help on the brick. And as you can see, you have a few bunch of commands you can use. We'll start with CVE search dbinfo. So here, in fact, it's querying the API available on the CVE search website. So here we are online. It's a REST API, no magic here. You can query available API. For instance, if you browse, you can get the list of vendor. You can search for it because it's automatically piped in a less stuff. So, okay, you search the stuff. What do you have? You see you have completion, so if I do tab here, it shows me which commands are available. I want to fetch latest addition to the database, so it's last command. So you have all the link. All of that, in fact, is saved in a variable which has the name of the run command, so you can play with it again and count the number of entry you have, because it's a hash, not this one. Keys are okay. So if I want to count, it's the result one. All right. Okay, so I have to look again at my structure. It's results with the S. Okay, so I gather results. Okay, now I can count the number. Okay, so there is 30 results, but just for the demo, but as you can see, once you have a result from a command, you can play with the result of the command like it's a Python shell, but it's a Perl shell. So you have another database, another brick for CVE search. It's database CVE search. What can you do with it? Again, you have some commands you can run. One of them is install. There is a command to view the source code of a brick. Sometimes maybe you may be interested in seeing what you have inside. So in a brick, you have some properties which basically define some commands, some attributes, and the required modules to run, and you have the needed packages to run it. So for CVE search, you have to install Python 3, Python pip to install dependence, and thanks to the install command, it's done for you. There is a brick that will just fetch the Git repository. 3 minutes? Okay, perfect. And once the Git repository is fetched, it will automatically call pip3 install to fetch and install requirements. After that, you have a command to init the database. I just followed the guide online on how to install CVE search on your local desktop, and I will follow that. So it's calling a Python script to install the stuff. You can update the database, repopulate the database, and of course, perform some search. So again, I want to call the dump last to see which were the last addition to my local database. Okay, so we have a variable with stuff. I want to get more information on the CVE, so I just call CVE search and it's a number. So okay, I do have all the information. Well, that's how CVE search works. You can query your local database, so there is nothing new here. But maybe you are aware that CVE search stores data in a Redis or a MongoDB database. So maybe you just want to play directly with what is written in the Redis database. So you just go run. You want to list databases. It helps me, it tells me that I have to connect first. So, okay, I'm connected to the local database. I do have two databases, and I want to list all the keys of, you have to know that DB12, if you want to query it, you have to call it 12. Well, that's Redis. And now it dumps the complete content of the Redis database, so you have whatever you want. The same is true for MongoDB, for instance, because some data are stored in a MongoDB database, so you use the MongoDB stuff. What can we do? Help. You have all the help you want. Again, you want to list available databases, so I have to connect first. And you have 3 local databases. In MongoDB, your database has collections. 1 minute. Some collections, so now I want to list collection names from the CVE DB, so I have all the collections, but I want to dump the content of a collection, so now I call another command called get database collection find all CVE DB, and I will dump, for instance, MS. So it takes some time. So now I dumped the complete content of what is stored in the MongoDB database, and it's saved in the $run variable, so you can play with it again and do whatever you want with it. That's Metabrik tomorrow morning, 8:45. Thank you.